Well, hello and welcome to Theater Appreciation online here at Lawson State. I've taught this course on campus and online for a number of years now, and I'm very happy to welcome you to our course in Blackboard. If you've ever had a class in Blackboard before, it's up to you to kind of look and find things, but I'm here to try to make it a little bit easier and so you can know what to expect from our course. Everything you need to know is here. So if you can't find something, I would say dig a little bit deeper. Follow me here through this. I'll show you where things are. There's a Q&A discussion board. Your classmates may have already found it. It can help you. Don't wait to the last minute, right? This limits the ability for anybody to help you if you run into a snag. Check things out early in the week, even if you can't do them till a little bit later. Go take a look. Make sure you understand what's supposed to take place that week so you can carve out the right amount of time. This is still a 3 credit hour class, and online you have to carve out your own class time at home and time to do the assignments. So let's take a look. The attendance policy is in this welcome letter. It went out as an announcement. By the way, you can expect to get an announcement from me every week, sometimes two. And if there's another one, it's because there's some update. I'm always going to kind of preview the coming week, but if there's something that's you need to give your attention to, there's an update, then I'm going to post it there. And that's really the only way I have because I don't see you in person. You don't come to my classroom and I say, hey, by the way, don't forget this, or hey, this is a change, or I noticed this and make sure you do that. The announcements are really the only way I can do that. So that's sort of our live, interactive way to communicate during the week. A lot of other things are static. They've been the videos and the PowerPoints, they've been built, before, and they're there, the quizzes and stuff. But that's just kind of how we keep up with each other during the week. Watch and listen or to those, keep track with those. They'll go to your email, whichever way you want to make sure you check on that. All right, so you can expect that every week. When I get questions by email and it is something I know I just posted or that information was in not only in Blackboard in the content, but it was an announcement, I'm going to direct you back to that because that is where and how you're supposed to get your information. Now, if there's a problem that is not about, trying to get the information, because it is already there, then of course, email me, especially if it's personal. But if it has to do with the course, I want you to make sure you've looked there first because that's where I communicate. And then second, check with your classmates using the Q&A got a question one here and do that as early as possible. All right, the attendance policy is in there. I'm not going to read the whole welcome letter. It went out in an announcement. It also is in here for you to read and see what that policy is because you don't want to miss out on that. Everybody needs to start here. There's a lot going on the first week. So you need to read the syllabus and see how your grade uh, you know, is calculated and what's involved in this class. It is theater appreciation. You're taking it online, which means we don't have a lot of live opportunities in class. We study, part of it is chapter study. I have my, all my information here. I'm going to go just over the key things. We use a Cengage text, Art of Theater. We are in Blackboard, so there's particular course requirements for that with your computer and the internet. Also, we use ProctorU as our exam service. They proctor that. It's a special service that you paid fees for when you register for this class. We've got the learning outcomes, the overview, and this is kind of what I wanted to pause on for a second. So we have a chapter study, maybe one or two, and then we study a play. And so what I've done is I have found video recordings of live performances that are free. And so it limits me a little bit. They're not, very professional, but they are adequate. And you watch the play, and that week there may be a quiz on it. There's always going to be a discussion about that. This is about that particular video, that particular performance. So this is where, you can't just go and Google or AI about the play Trifles or the King and be able to discuss it. We will be discussing that particular play performance, how that group of actors at that particular time interpreted the play, costumed the play, did the set design for that play, and performed it. And that's what our discussion will be around, the actual action of a play performance, a particular one. So we have that, and then we take our midterm. So we have trifles, which is very short, Oedipus the King, which is our full length. We have a play study that involves Hamlet. Then we have our midterm. It'll be over those chapters and those play performances. Okay, not over the script, over the play performances that are assigned. Then we go back in and we have a more extended study of A Doll's House, where we break that down a little bit more. We start our project presentations and wrap up with fences and our project presentations and a final exam. Your grade is based on a variety of things. So together, the quizzes and discussions are 55%. That if you break it down even more, you can't just do the quizzes and pass the class. Quizzes are maybe half of this, maybe 25 or 30, somewhere there. Discussions are the other half. Then you have the exams. Okay, the exams carry a lot of weight because that's the live part of Proctor one there, and then the project presentation. So if you just do chapter quizzes, you won't, and you don't do the discussions, you won't do well on anything else, and you won't pass. So you've got to be involved in all parts of the class. All right, the rest of it is standard college policies. Make sure that you review those, the pass-fail, conditions there. Um, Very important if you've never done a Blackboard eCollege, fully online course before to read these, all these. If you've done them before and you understand the policies, then just review them to make sure any part of it that you feel like maybe you misunderstood last time. Discussion boards are a key part of our grade, and so make sure that you're aware of the policies that govern that. And then and your participation. Everything is done on a weekly basis, but participation needs to be throughout the week. The attendance policy and withdrawal reminders, makeup work, late work. It is accepted but with penalty. Okay, if it's late, it's late, and particularly a discussion board because that discussion has ended on Sunday night, and so anything you contribute there is just it's like walking into the classroom after class is over. Everybody's left, and whatever you say in the room doesn't benefit anybody. So there's very little value other than just that you respond to the assignment post, and you'll get some credit for that. But as far as engaging the class, you've missed that window. Okay, if you feel like there is some extraordinary circumstance, unexpected, that you could document, then you need to email that to me with the explanation as soon as that happens. And let's talk about, I'll decide whether I approve that. But I'm going to need that kind of information before I can approve that for your late work that wouldn't be penalized. If you know something's coming up ahead of time, though, if you want approval, I need to know about it ahead of time, and I have to have the documentation that supports that you were assigned to jury duty that week and couldn't do any of your assignments. Now, I've been assigned to jury duty several times. Only once in my long life has it ever taken me all week. Most of the time, you're dismissed after a day. So one day of jury duty is not really going to exempt you from an entire week of class, but military duty I know can be all week and maybe more, and you know those ahead of time. So, or scheduled medical procedures. Just send me the documentation through email and let's talk about it and see how best to meet your needs so you can be successful in a reasonable way. Proctor U, some people have no problems, other people when they're new, I have a whole package unit in here that you need to do early on to make sure you understand because they made some changes to make it easier for students getting in with a new browser, Guardian browser. But it's not an option. I mean, you've signed up for an fully online class and you've got to take your exam, through that system, okay? You've got to have some kind of ID that they'll accept. If you don't think you're going to have that, you need to contact me ahead of time to see if I will override that, and allow something that they maybe won't allow. But everybody should at least have their campus ID. If you don't have a driver's license or some other state issued ID, photo ID, we have to verify that the student registered as the student taking the exam with Proctor U, or the integrity of this. All right, there are other fees. That's if you don't schedule in a timely way. They have to know and plan and have a proctor ready for you. So anything less than 72 hours in advance, or if you get to your time and you don't have what you need, you didn't have your ID, or you aren't in the right environment, or your computer, you didn't have it checked or tested ahead, and you can't take it at that time, you have to reschedule. There's fees like that, but just the standard testing fee was already paid. We have a lot of support. Help desk tickets are easiest way to get that help. Um, online etiquette if you've never done that. I want to talk a little bit about cheating, plagiarism, AI, uh, online identity fraud. Our academic integrity is that you conduct yourself with honesty and integrity at all times. You are the one signed up to take this class. You're the one that's going to get the credit for completing this class if you do it successfully. You're expected to submit your own work. You go to college so that you can learn, not so that you can substitute something else for your learning. And so the use of AI, such as ChatGPT, and there is, we're going to learn how you're going to learn along the way how to use that acceptably, but it cannot be a substitute for what's your own original work, and is therefore plagiarism. That means, if you try to get ChatGPT to do your discussion boards or your project, um, those are usually kind of noticeable, and we send it to detectors, and if it gets flagged, we're not going to accept the work. Okay? You can, if you think there's an error there, we can set up a conference and we can kind of discuss it in person, or but otherwise it won't be accepted. Okay? You've got to be the one that watches the plays and reads the content and learn. All right, this is for you. That's the point of going to college. Even if you're not a theater major, there's reasons why we study these, and hopefully you'll pick that up as we go. Because you're a human being, right? And this is an art that's a human expression that helps us learn more about life and humanity, regardless of our profession or occupation. All right, there's other things there. It's pretty big deal, and um, yeah. So there's all the rules about that. If you have technical issues, I am not the help desk. I mean, I know a couple troubleshooting things, and usually I can't tell you what might help if you unless you send me a screenshot. But if it's a truly computer issue, it's nice for you to let me know. But you are expected to find a temporary solution until you have your issue resolved. If yours crashes, as sometimes they do, um, then you need to get a backup or use someone else's. Your local library, our library, you can come on campus. I find a lot of our online students have other classes they take on campus. So go to our campus library and use those computers. Students do that all of the time. Go to a local library, borrow a friend's laptop until and then your phone. Yeah, if you can get the Blackboard app, and then there's some things you could do on your phone until you get to a situation. But you can't just say, oh, Saturday, Sunday night, my you waited till the last minute, it crashed, and it's going to be a week before it gets fixed, and I can't do my work. Yes, you can do your work. You need to find a way to do your work as soon as possible. And if you just go and do that the next day, then there's, okay, you've we can work with that, but you have got to address your technical issues, all right? You chose a fully online class, and you need to have backup plans and so forth. If your internet goes down, whatever, right? If you are going to document these, if you want me to consider any of this, then you need to, there's a couple things to make sure that it's not, make sure you get the right browser. Chromebooks, Chromebooks work to a degree, and iPads they're much better than they used to be. But it's if you're like it says, if you're trying to take this course with something other than a desktop or laptop, it's gonna limit you on what you can do. Chromebooks, I don't think work with ProctorU, and there can be some issues there. You need to get those addressed as early as possible. Use our like I said, use local libraries that have a desktop. Do a screenshot. If you've never done a screenshot, there's got some basic instructions. If there's ever a time when I don't know what to do with my computer, I Google it, how to do a screenshot on, and whatever it is I have, an iPad, or I don't have an iPad, but on a PC, and I look at I've got HP desktop, and it will tell you. Okay, learn to troubleshoot. You've got to do that. And I can't help you unless I see a screenshot of what the problem is. From time to time, I have to have help from IT, and I send them a screenshot. All right, after you've gone through this in more detail than this, then take the quiz, and let's just take a look at the other things before we get there, making sure if you did your Blackboard orientation last spring, then just upload your certificate. If this is new, you don't know what I'm talking about, click here on the steps, how to do that. Take care of that this week. Notice I'm giving you a week to do that. In most cases, you're going to have a week, except I'd like you to get started earlier on your discussion boards, and timing does matter. There's a link to our e-textbook. Of course, you have to buy the subscription to Cengage. Do that through the bookstore to be able to use any of your financial aid. Then don't forget that we have weekly instruction. Okay, this week there's always going to be an overview, weekly to-do list. Occasionally there may be a video overview. Look at there, this is day one, someone's already participated in introductions. Yay, so that's what the little blue dot means. And I have the due date of Wednesday night because you need to get in the habit of posting by Wednesday night and replying to 2 classmates by Sunday night on different days of the week. And I'll tell you what to post and so forth. There's your syllabus quiz. There's a chapter link for this week, Chapter 1, instructional materials, and a quiz. It's going to be very typical, not typical to have 2 quizzes in a week, but it's going to be very typical to have a discussion board and a quiz every week. Okay, about done there. Don't want to take too much longer. I've got the first 3 weeks laid out, and I'm still building, updating the other weeks. They'll be up shortly. There's the unit on ProctorU. Okay, there's the link to ProctorU. This is the video I made on everything that's you need to know about it. This is the quiz. You got to watch the video. It's got information that's just on this video. There's a 5-step guide. Everything that you need to know how to handle ProctorU is there. And I've got a quiz to make sure that you understand that. Okay. All right. Well, this took, I would be spending an hour doing this in person, so I'm trying to keep it down as quick as I can, just over 15 minutes, under 20. I welcome you to the class. I look forward to meeting you through introductions. And if you're on campus, I'm on Birmingham Tuesdays and Thursdays this semester. I'm on Bessemer Mondays and Wednesdays. Fridays, it kind of depends which campus I'm on. As the department chair, I like to go over there and visit jazz band rehearsals and stuff like that, choir rehearsals. So if you're on campus, just, hop in and stop by, say hi. If you need to talk to me about something, email me to set up an appointment. I would love to meet you and talk to you, but everything you need is here for the class. I wish you well and have a great, great semester.